Good morning, everyone. So today is a week of workshop. So this workshop is for you to prepare for the final exam, this year. Okay. So our first workshop is mathematics. Okay. So in my workshop, I prepare some of the topics, not all the topics, but of course, right, cannot be all the topics. I cannot finish within these 2 weeks. We only have 4 classes. So I only choose certain topics which are, I think, quite common in the final exam and show you some techniques on answering those questions. All right, so let's look at the first topic in this one. Solving quadratic equations. I think all of you know already. This is the most basic question in mathematics, right? A lot of questions involve these quadratic equations. So you have to know how to solve quadratic equations. And we have many types of quadratic equations. And this is one of the cases here. You know that for the quadratic equations, make sure that the power is 2, all right? The highest power is 2. In this case, the b is not equal to 0, c is not equal to 0, all right? So how are we going to solve these kind of quadratic equations? So what I'm going to show you here is the guideline, okay? It's not the SOP or what, okay? This guideline, I mean, you can't just fully rely on these guidelines because you can't really solve all the questions using only using this guideline, but at least can solve like 60 or 70%. All right. So after you recognize that these quadratic equations, whereby b is not equal to 0, c is not equal to 0, then next thing you're going to check is whether it can be factorized or not. All right. So how do we know whether it can be factorized? You can use calculator. If the quadratic equation is not that hard, I mean, it's very simple, the value of the coefficient is very small, you still can use guess and check or try and error. Okay, still okay. But if the value is too big, then it's quite impossible to do guess and check. You have to use the calculator already. So let's see. If no, check whether it can be factorized or not. If no, then you have to use quadratic formula already. Okay, so how you know that a calculator, tell you that these quadratic equation cannot be factorized? The answer must be in irrational form. You know, irrational form, like when you see square root of something, right? Like square root of 2 or something, that means it's irrational, cannot be expressed as a ratio or fractions. So when you check using a calculator, the answer is in irrational form, that means you have to use quadratic formula already. So after you know you need to use quadratic formula, the next thing to do is identify the A, B, and C. So I assume that all of you know how to find out the A, B, and C. And then put all these values into the formula to get the answers. But don't just stop here. You have to do what? Verify the answers using the calculator. But sometimes mistake can be happen inside the formula, the calculations, you insert the wrong values, right? So you still have to check using the calculator. What if it can be factorized? Well, this will be very easy. You don't need to use formula already. Just write down the answer first from the calculator, but you can't just leave your answer without what? Without the working. You have to show the working, and the working is what? The factorizations. You have to show the factors. So you have to work backwards to get back the factors. So these are techniques on answering these kind of questions. But normally, the usual way we solve the quadratic equation is you should do the factorization first, then only get the answer, right? But now with your calculator, you can always get the answer first. Then only work backwards to get back the factors, to show all your full solutions. If you only show your answer without the factorization, you won't get any mark one. You lose all the marks one. They won't give you any marks for final answers unless you show the workings. All right, let's see this example. Sort of solving these quadratic equations. Okay, I copy the question first. All right. So this is the first question. Let's look at our guideline. Our first guideline is what? Okay, make sure that the equation is quadratic. All right, how do you make sure that? You see the power of x is 2. And this is for the case that b and c are not equal to 0. You have the x term and the constant. And then you have to check whether it can be factorized or not using calculator. So I'm going to show you how to use calculator to check for it. So for IIS student, all of you know already. This is for other centers, okay? You should always, okay, press the menu button here. And then go to this one, equation. All right, and then choose the polynomial. Degree is 2. Degree means the power of x. So it's 2. All right, now you start keying the A, B, and C. So what is the coefficient of x squared? As you can see, it's 3, right? In the question, it's 3. Just press 3. And then coefficient of x is -8. And then the constant is 4. And then now you can get the answer. And what the answer show you here is this is whole number, right? So whole number is, of course, is rational. Okay, rational. And then how about the other answer? 203 is fraction, right? Fraction is rational. So that means you can skip the formula already, okay? Straight away, you can write the answer and then get back the factors. Okay, the way I'll solve this will be like this. Okay, let's see the first answer just now is 2, right? So the way I write, I will leave a single space here, single line space here. And then x equals to 2. Or, you don't use n, this one. You either use or comma. If n will be different meaning already. Okay, and then x equal to what? Another one, 203, is it? All right, 203. So how do we convert back to the factors? You know that you have to move the number to the left. Make sure the right-hand side is 0. All right, so you have, if you move the 2 to the left-hand side, become -2. Okay, but how about the fraction? Most of the people, how they do? They move all the fraction to the left-hand side and make their factors like this, which is wrong on this one. Don't show this. You don't show factors like this. For the factorization, is always a whole number. It's not a fraction. Okay, so don't just move the fraction to the left-hand side. What you should do is, you should do what, Isaiah? I want a decimal? No. All right, no decimal, no fraction. It must be whole number. You have to bring the 3 to the left-hand side first. Becomes 3x, right, equals to 2. Then only move the 2 to the left-hand side. 3x minus 2. This is your factor. All right, you shouldn't write in this way. You should write 3x minus 2 equals to 0. All this you can erase. You don't need to show this. All right, then you will get the full marks already. All right, so this is for the question number 1. Let's see the B. All right. All right, B is 3x squared plus 8x minus 4 equals to 0. So I'm going to solve this. Okay, basically are the same, right? It's about the same as the question A. Yeah? The only difference is what? Let me check. Okay, this one, again, you just use the calculator. You find out the answer first. Always use calculator. So let's key in the value. So in this case, the A is 3. And then, sorry, I need to key in again. All right, the next one is positive 8. And then is minus 4. All right, let's check for this, whether this can be factorized or not. You see, from a calculator, you show this kind of answer. It has square root sign or radical sign, right? You show that the answer is minus 4 plus 2 square root of 7 over 3. So for this kind of answer, you cannot solve using the factorization. You have to apply the formula already, right? You have to use formula. So how do we use formula? Okay, this one in math, the quadratic formula is not given. The quadratic formula is not given. You have to memorize it. Okay, but in math, it's given. So weird, math given, but math is not given. Okay, so this is the formula. Always have to memorize this one. All right, b squared minus 4 is especially for this one, very important to determine whether the roots have 2 equal roots, distinct roots, or no roots. All depends on b squared minus 4. Is we call it discriminant. All right, minus b is what? Minus 8 plus minus, and then a squared x squared minus 4a is 3, and then the c is minus 4 over the 2 times 3. All right. From here, what I do now, actually, I will not go to calculate all this. I will straight away write the answer from my calculator. Even though maybe some of the digits here are wrong, but I will still write the correct answer from my calculator. This, somehow you can cheat the examiner, right? Somehow you can, have some mistake in this formula, but don't go to calculate this one. We are not for sure this one is accurate or not, right? So you just write the answer from calculator to calculate this one. Okay, so you see, I just straight away write that one only, 0.443. How many decimal places? Is it about decimal places? No, it's about what? Significant figures, 3 SF. So 0.43 what? 431, or another one. All right, convert to decimal. Negative 3.10. Okay, so this is how to answer. You don't need to calculate using this quadratic formula. Okay, show the answer from calculator only. Okay, so next will be the question C. All right, question C. Okay, if you use calculator, you find that they have the same roots. All right, for this one, if you try to use calculator, you will get the same root as the question A. Okay, 9 minus 24. And the last one is 12. Okay, we have 2, x equal 2, or 203, right? Okay, 203. Okay, what happened here? This is how I teach you how to, get the factors, right? Okay, you just move the 2 to the left-hand side. And then this one, you know how to change it, okay? It is 3x minus 2 equals 0, right? So anything wrong with this one? Is it you can solve using this way? Nothing wrong, right? We follow what I tell you to do, right, just now. But something wrong with these factorizations. Anyone can notice? Can you spot the mistake here? The problem here. If you try to expand this, what you get? It's actually you get 3x squared, right? It's not 9x squared. Did you notice? If you try to time the constant, you will get 4, but not 12. So something wrong with this one. So what's the problem here? Because you didn't to simplify this quadratic equation. If you solve like this, I think 1 mark will be deducted. You have to simplify first. Because it's not true, you try to explain it, you're not getting this equation. Then the examiner knows that you are actually using the calculator to cheat the examiner. So always simplify the equation to the simplest form. This one will be 3x squared divided by 3, right? Okay. All right. Then only you show. All right, final answer. And this only makes sense. Now you know the importance of simplifying the equation. How about the D? What happened to the D? D is about the same. You try to follow my way just now, you will still have problem for this kind of question. This one is negative 3x squared plus 8x minus 4 equal to 0. You will still get the roots as x equal to 2 or x equal to 203. Okay? From calculator, you still get the same roots. If you try to use follow my way to get the factors, you will still have a problem, the same problem again. What's the same problem? If you try to expand this, you wouldn't get minus 3x squared. You have 3x squared. It's a difference. But if you key in all these values, this ABC in your calculator, you will have these roots. But when you get the factors and expand it, you wouldn't get this one. That's a problem. So what's the problem here? Because you didn't make the coefficient of x squared become positive. Okay, we always want to make sure that coefficient of x squared is positive. Then all these steps will be correct. So this one, you have to change it to positive first, the coefficient of x squared. Then only you apply the way that I showed you just now. then you will still get the same answer. Okay, understand? All right, let's look at, okay, this is another type of quadratic equations, whereby the b is not equal to 0, but c is 0. C is 0 means constant 0. Constant 0 means what? It doesn't have any constant. You only have the variable terms, x squared term, and x terms. So to we solve this kind of equation, all of you should know already, factorize out the common factor x. Okay, we have the common factor x. And then solve for the x. It's very easy. So let's look at this example. Okay, these two examples. 3x squared minus 8x equals to 0. All right, this kind of equation is the c is 0, right? But b is not 0, a is not 0. And you notice that they have a common factor of x, right? So you can just factorize out the x, and then equate this to 0. And then from here, you don't need to apply the, you don't need to use calculator to find out the roots anymore, right? Because from these factors, because you get the factors already, you can get the roots from the factors. Okay, so this one, x equal to 0, or 3x minus 8 equals to 0, right? Either make one of the factors here equal to 0. This is how we make the left-hand side equal to 0, right? Either one of these factors must be 0. 0 times anything is 0, right? That's why either one of these must be 0. Then you have the first answer as x equal to 0, and the other one will be 8/3, right? Without using calculator, you can get the answer already. So this is easier for if the constant is 0. How about the b? Right, again, the c is 0 here. They have the common factor x. Well, this one you can, not only common factor x, it also has the common factor 2, or you can just take out the minus 2x. And left the x inside here, and is it plus? Minus 4. All right, minus 2x times minus 4, you get positive 8x. So now from here, you know that minus 2x equal to 0, or x minus 4 equal to 0. So x equal to 0, and then x equals to 4. All right, so this is how you solve it. All right, let's check for the answer. And then another one. Yeah, correct. So now this is a third case. The b is 0, c is not 0. B is 0 means what? There's no x term anymore, right? But constant is still there. Constant is still there. So how do you solve this kind of equation? You have to make the x squared as a subject. That means you put the x squared on one side, then the other terms move the other side. So for solve for the x using positive and negative square roots. All right, let's look at this one. X squared minus 16 equals to 0. First of all, you identify that the x term is not there, but constant is still there. We still have the x squared term. So the way to solve this is, the first step, make the x squared as a subject. And then you put the x squared at one side, the other terms move to the other side. All right, so we have x squared, move the minus 16 to the right-hand side. Then what do we do here? We want to get the x, right? We don't want the square. So the way to remove the square is by taking a square root of, all right, plus minus. Remember to put plus minus, okay? This one will give you plus minus 4. Very simple. And then another one, 2x squared minus 50 equals to 0. All right, again, with the x squared as a subject, right, you move the minus 50 to the right-hand side. The way to move the 2 here will be division, right? Use division. So 50/2. Something wrong, this one. Oh, no, still okay. So here is 25, 25/2 is 50/2 is 25. So now you can get the x is square root of positive, negative, square root of 25. That's give you plus minus 5. So it's also not that hard if the b is 0.